but it's a long cooldown. Good blade mail game. Like, it should be blade mail into Manta style, into something else. Probably just a bit more tankiness, Scotty type of a build from Spectre, because you get so much value from the blade mail here against the Skywrath Mage, against the Razor. It's just a good build-up. Maybe potentially even get a Hood as a first item. I wouldn't mind seeing that here, considering the amount of magic damage that they got.
Yeah, go Hood, maybe you get Blade Mail. We've seen in the past, like, I would say Ame is a good example of that with the Spectre, where you get that early Blade Mail, and if the fight's happening in the opposite lane, you got a couple of heroes, or you haunt in, then you start farming the opposite way, and you do whatever you can to really up that farm, up that tick in GPM, see what you can do here. And I guess we'll have to see. TNC up against Smart Omega. Be an interesting game one for sure.
You are dead. You should.
I'm definitely leaning a little bit more towards TNC.
Yeah, I kind of like what they got. You know, the combination with the Grimstroke. I think Legion is a bit of an underrated hero currently, considering what he provides. Like, his shard is her shard. I always think of Legion Commander. From Dota 1 days, it's, I don't know why. Like, you press the attack against spell immunity for almost 2 seconds, 175, and it also reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds. So it's a pretty good damage shard.
So we'll see how that works out. As a little bit of all chatting, some wards down here, and a D ward for Armel. Gets that early D ward, a little bit of an advantage for the Radiant side with that vision. So we'll see how this ends up going. Mid Puck up against the mid Tiny. Who you favoring?
With the introduction of the, you know, regen rune, water rune, 2 minutes in, then you have a bounty rune, 3 minutes in, another water rune, 4 minutes in. Like, he can't sustain. It's, of course, Puck favorite, I would say. I don't think you should be able to die to Tiny. He needs a lot of mana. Also, like, his combo is not going to be maxed out. He's going to get 1 point in 3-throw. Of course, at the starting level, we'll max out the Avalanche, but I don't think you can kill Puck.
Yeah, unless they get a rotation, and even then, it might be a little bit difficult. I could definitely see Boomy coming over once he's got, say, level 3. Have a Hex, Earth Spike. Maybe you catch Mac out with an Avalanche toss in that combo. But you were saying it in the draft that Puck is not easiest to catch.
They have the tools. They have Duel. Of course, they have one of the best heroes, Lion, with the Hex. So they decided to swap things around a bit. The Razor is... I thought they were going to put the Lion, you know, on the top lane so that they have something to instantly stun him.
Right.
Break that static link. They decided to go with the Grimstroke. You know, potentially there is, like, Inkswell, maybe counterplay, and the Stroke of Fate, slow, could potentially turn things around.
Yeah, Inkswell, Stroke of Fate, definitely a combo to be weary of. That with the maybe like overwhelming odds. Press the attack coming in. CML taking a lot of damage. They've got the static link onto Bach. CML living with just a sliver of health. And not stealing too much damage. Not amazing, just level 1. But it certainly starts to really ramp up.
This is a Thief lane on top. They steal your damage, they steal your move speed, steal your attack speed.
What do you have left after that?
And then they start taking your HP.
Yeah, so not much. Not much left once they steal everything. Could certainly turn to be a pretty productive lane here for Omega.
Mid lane, Mac, he picked up the water rune without the bottle, so not going to get the full efficiency, while Tiny will bottle it up.
Does have that new fresh bottle. Now full of some fresh spring water. Inkswell stuns up Tino, but again, that damage getting sucked away. You aren't going to hit that hard when you're going after an aggressive play like that. And Sam H needs to be careful, thinking about going in onto Gabby. He's got the slow from Shanks. So far for Gabby, just 8-1. So things a little bit difficult for the Spectre down bottom.
HCS, you know, she will get the farm eventually. Like, Lion started with the boots of speed, so he doesn't have too much region to offer to his Spectre as well. Boomy will steal. You know, you steal something on the top lane from us, we steal your bounty rune. That's how it goes. Just keeping things balanced.
Balancing all things. Tim's coming over, try and help out Armel. Maybe thinking about going in onto this puck. Boomy's still sitting down towards bottom. He does have one in each, the stun and the hex. But I'm not sure if that's enough yet to really make a move over towards mid, and he needs to protect Gabby, who's certainly struggling at the moment at just 13-1, but maybe he starts to get off the ground.
This lane is super strong for Omega. Shanks on a Skywrath Mage, 2 points, and concussive shot. Like, you get close, Centaur with the double edge, with the stomp. Like, there's so much kill potential, and he's working towards that. Vanguard, which seems to be one of the most popular items nowadays on a Centaur. It got a buff in terms of damage reduction and costs 100 gold less.
Get that quick ring of health. You have that extra regen to start the lane off. He's already regenning at 10.8. Feels pretty strong. Sam H will just kill a courier. Boomy comes over. They've got the Earth Spike, but Boomy taking a lot of damage. The Hex comes through.
There's the rotation.
Boomy might survive this with Tim's coming over, especially the Arcane Bolt will be first blood for Shanks, and now he's under the tower. They've got the Inkswell right on top of Sam H. Hope Stop comes in, but it's not in time. And Centaur will lose his life to Tim's. Shanks is... okay, now gonna TP back. He's sitting under that tier 1 tower for a while.
Yeah, they understand that Bach on the top lane now is not going to have a really good time because there was a rotation from position 4 Grimstroke. I like his itemization in this game. He understands I need to be able to outrun people. Goes for the boots of speed, goes for Windlace.
Already moving at 395 movement speed.
Boomy, rotation on the mid lane, Hex.
Mac, hit with the Hex. They're going to rotate over the Visage, but is it going to be in time? Avalanche toss. They've gotten the kill on a Max. CML's just too late. Soul Assumption thrown over, but that's just not enough damage. He's too slow on the rotation, but TNC, it's a little bit of what we expected. Both supports coming over mid, making a play on Mac, and I mean, they get what they wanted, and they got a kill.
Good rotation there from position 5 Lion. Like, Spectre is a bit low on HP, so she needs some kind of a help. They have no regen whatsoever. Lion is bringing a healing salve for Spectre. That's why I said maybe, you know, a Hood wouldn't be a bad choice here. To have some extra regeneration coming out from that little ring.
Right. A little bit of HP regen never hurt anybody, and it's a little bit of an investment that could certainly go a long way. I don't think it's terribly expensive to the point where Gabby's going Hood, and all of a sudden he thinks to himself, no, man, I'm too slow at the moment. Like, you get that Hood, you get the Blade Mail, and I think, honestly, if the team's in a decent enough spot, you're still good to go.
Haunt is available, so they can potentially make a play on a different side of the map. They have a good setup, you know. Legion Commander is struggling a bit on the top lane, just hit level 5. So I don't think they can kill Tino if he gets Static Link off on Razor. They can't kill him. Maybe if Legion Commander hits 6.
Get that duel out, potentially. CML taking over mid for a second as Max come over to try and just farm a stack for the moment. Maybe head towards bottom. He does have Dream Coil ready to go, going into that Witchblade first. This is left Armel to just continue to farm. He's got Phase Boots as well as the bottle. I'm assuming Blink Dagger next, and yeah, he'll queue that up. So Blink Dagger, mobility early here for TNC if you can get to that Blink Dagger at a decent enough timing, and that goes back to the mindset that I had with this lineup where they've got 4 heroes that can keep the lane open for Gabby. Or keep the map open for Gabby.
Gabby sitting at 35 CS. You know, still struggling a bit. Oh, he finds the perfect item. Chipped West, someone finds it for him. It's the dream, you know, having that 5 extra HP regeneration and combined with the Blade Mail, like, it's so much damage. Tiny on top of net worth.
Certainly a bit of a buff for that chipped vest.
Oh yeah, big buff.
From 3.5 to 5, like tier 1 item, it's a lot. And the return damage also getting increased. By the way, Sam H went for that hood. He's also going back for the Vanguard. He's also picked up a chipped vest. So he's getting all the items he's happy about.
Like, there are 3 heroes in this game that just love to have chipped vest. You have Legion Commander, you have Spectre, Centaur with the Retaliate. It's just a perfect item. They will have to split it, you know, just get the half of the West.
Vest.
Yeah.
Rubbing the hands together. Trusty shovel picked up. I think Razor sent that back immediately. There we go. Sam H finally presses send on that. Gets the chipped vest starting to come out his way. They'll bring over Mac again, and I think this is... He's been hanging out here bottom quite a bit. They've got Tino here too, but Tino's not working with a lot of mana. So they'll go for this. They've got the Dream Coil over bottom. Blade Mail already popped. It's the early Blade Mail doing a lot of damage onto the puck. They've got the Ink Swell. Looking over at Sam H. They'll hit the Hex onto the Centaur. They've also used that Haunt. They'll get the dual victory too. Avalanche
can they
comes in
get
on
him
the
as
Mac.
well?
Ooh.
Toss.
Running
Available?
away and finally goes down to Bach. Overwhelming odds is what finishes him off.
Man,
Well done by
Spectre
TNC.
is so tanky. He even put, 1 extra point in Dispersion instead of maxing out the Spectral Dagger. It's a lot of damage, and it's still 9 minutes in. This Spectre is such a good pick, actually, for this game.
Puck went in through Dream Coil, and all of a sudden he was down to about a third of his health and started running away.
Top tower is under attack.
The Blade Mail, I'm not sure if that was totally expected for Spectre to have it, because it's no boots Blade Mail. So maybe the timing's just the expectation of having a Blade Mail this early is not there. But it was also big rotations.
Oh
that
yeah,
were
it's
really
very hard to
nice from TNC.
click on a hero before you gank him to see what he gets.
Well, it got delivered right as, Sometimes people don't click.
I know some people who don't click. Tims, he's gonna get go on, and yep, easy pick up by Mac. Going into Witchblade. Bottom lane. I don't think they can defend this tower. Bach needs to get out. Coil is available.
Oh, there it is.
They find him.
They've got the silence, they've got the coil, they've got the kill. Double kill for Mac.
This should be the tower. Meanwhile, top tier 1 tower is still standing. It's being pinged out. They have a catapult to work with. I don't know if you want to fight into Tiny with Arcane Rune. Like, this is the dream for Tiny.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Omega seems like they will try to collapse on a mid tower potentially. Get a pick off there.
Could go for Tims. He does have his Soulbind ready to go, but I'm not sure he's going to make it out of this one. Inkswell, Arcane Bolt, Plasma Field, all coming in. CML gets credit for the kill. They rotate over Armel into the trees. That is not where he wants to be, and they've used the Stampede. Boomy does get an Earth Spike off on a Tino, but it's not enough to survive. They've already killed the Lion. Meanwhile, CML does in fact fall to Bach. He's got himself a second victory on the duel. They'll look over at Tino. They're trying to catch up. Armel has Avalanche available. Hits onto Sam H as well as Tino, but they just can't follow it up.
Buyback for nothing. I guess they were expecting a fight to still be there. We didn't see the combo yet from the Grimstroke and Lion. At least Legion is getting a second dual victory.
Yeah.
A bit of a ballsy move there from Tiny. Going in, TPing like that after one hero already died.
Into that spot too.
Surprised he managed to get out.
Because he went in the trees, and that was honestly a spot I think TNC were aware Omega were in. It's not like, oh my god, they just showed up. They were taking that tier 1 and taking that fight before he TP'd in. Dream Coil used. Back over mid, Mystic Flare. Look at the damage on the Bach. They'll get a quick kill. Avalanche toss, a return onto Shanks. They've got a haste on this Tiny.
It's so good when you're controlling the runes with Tiny, when you get those up. I think a good example is yesterday's game where Alliance, like Lim, had all the runes.
That's the blink. And that's
the
the reveal.
combo.
Avalanche toss, the finger comes in, CML ends up dead. Now we'll see if they can get out of this without taking many casualties. It looks like Tims and Boomy are both going to fall on this. Boomy is the first one to drop on TNC, and Tims follows him to the grave as Sam H gets the kill.
Spectre with the Haunt.
Yeah, they're jumping in. They want this. They'll look over. Mac Avalanche, he cannot get out. Press the attack onto the Spectre. They'll look over the Tiny once again. They've got the silence. The Ancient Seal. Is it going to be enough? Looks like Armel might give up his life for this, and the Arcane Bolt comes through and does the deed. Armel giving up a 4-time spree to this Skywrath Mage.
I believe that was a finger on 10 HP Wizage there. Also, that's not the hero that you want to focus with the finger.
No.
That was the first finger usage. Infinite scaling lineup, you know, so you got to get those stacks up as soon as you can. Lion, Legion Commander. Also, I think it's a big bait for Legion Commander to get Blade Mail here as a first item. Like, your job, it doesn't make you tank here. You know, on Spectre, it's fine, you know, going in, taking up that damage because she has a dispersion. But I think Pipe is just too good to miss out. Because your job is not to go in and deal damage. You still have people to, you know, burst them down with the Lion, with the Tiny. There's a ton of magical damage inside the duel. You just need to be able to go in and not care about their damage. So a bit of a missed opportunity. I think this is was a big bait, and he got it. He's hooked on it.
Getting low and doesn't survive the tree thrown his way. A lot of damage done on Armel. They've got the Dream Coil down. He'll snap it, and with the Soul Assumption and the Illusory Orb, CML gets the trade. They still want Tims. Little Stroke of Fate comes through, hits onto Tino as well as CML. Bach moving forward, but not close enough. Do you think maybe he's going Blade Mail because he wants to deter a Mystic Flare right on top of him? I mean, is that even enough to deter a Mystic Flare? It's so much damage. Like it's
No,
not
I mean, you can still die because you're
still
taking full damage.
Yeah.
If you get, you know, Hood, you don't die. You can easily reset multiple times in a team fight. This is one, you know, I don't want to sound too harsh, but this is one of those kind of game-losing item builds where I don't know. It's just, you know, after seeing what like Yang did with the Legion Commander yesterday, like
the bar's been
Legion
set.
yeah, the bar has been set pretty high.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Inkswell just to get away. Going Aether Lens first on this Grimstroke after the Arcane Boots, so we'll have that extra cast range. We'll be able to sit back a little bit further.
Oh, you definitely need that item on a hero because the hero feels, you know, almost unplayable if you don't have the lens.
Getting in
They
too
have
close.
some really good heroes to jump in with. You have Spectre, you have Tiny, even Legion Commander, so a lot of value coming out from that Inkswell.
First item, BKB for this Razor.
And it's not even a 10-second BKB anymore. Like,
It's not that fresh 10-second anymore, that's for sure. Tims in trouble, chased. And there's Tino from the other side. They're actually just going to leave him to Tino. They knew he had the kill. Does it feel weird? Can't say 10-second BKB anymore?
yeah, because it's been there forever.
That's the line. It's the go-to line. Picks up that 10-second BKB.
He just used a 10-second BKB. Yeah, it's now it's a 9-second BKB.
He was scared of illusion. He popped the 10-second BKB.
You also can't say, you know, the BKBs are down to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Doesn't
under
allow me to
attack.
fake hype BKBs as much anymore.
Dire's
10
middle
seconds
tower
seems so
is
much
under
longer than
attack.
9. It's 2 numbers instead of 1.
Yeah, 2 digits.
2 digits, 1 digit. It's a big change.
Yeah, but the good thing is, you know,
Radiant's bottom
6
tower is
seconds,
under
9
attack.
seconds, also like these 2 numbers go well together.
Yeah. They just flip over. Blink, Hoof Stomp coming through. Blade Mail popped immediately by Bach. They're going to go in, looking over at Boomy with this Visage, trying to get as much damage as he can. He charges up the finger for a second, but Boomy now gets the Earth Spike out. They've got the Dream Coil down. They got the kill on the Shanks as well. Sam H, they look over at CML. They're going to try and chase with Gabby. These familiars maybe looking to catch up so they can throw down a stun, but I don't think they're available. Oh, yeah. Just coming off cooldown and able to drop down right on top of the Spectre, but CML still dies. So does Mac.
Trying to get rid of the birds. We'll get one, we'll get two.
It's good a chunk of gold.
Yeah, this is pretty big. You know, Omega's lineup is pretty mediocre going into mid game and late game, and it's already even. Like, just seeing the scaling capability, you did not manage to kill Spectre, not even once. Once she gets that Manta style, it also opens up the possible Roche for them if they win the next fight. An ability to get rid of the silences, get rid of the slows. This could be a bit tricky. You know, they're overstaying the welcome. Can they get the tower?
Avalanche toss. Shanks just gets blown up. They're going to go after Armel. They've left him alone for a second. Overwhelming Odds comes out, stealing a lot of damage. Tino with an extra 174. Throwing that back at Armel with Plasma Field. Inkswell still running. He's super tanky. The BKB's been popped by Tino. The 9-second BKB coming out from this Razor, and it gets him nothing. So now they start to turn. They've got the Hex. They'll have the duel. It's out on a Mac. Finger to follow it up. Do they have the damage to finish him off? Yes, they do. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And they'll go after Tino. They've got the Avalanche with the toss. He's on the run, but not quick enough. Dominating now for Armel. Looking over at CML because he's got no mana to work with. They've got the Spectral Dagger. He got a lot of bars on that Soul Assumption, but no way to throw him. And that will be a double kill for Armel. And right into Roche they go.
Yeah, that's what I just said. You know, they get one good more fight. They can turn that into Roche. They have the damage coming out from the Spectre and the newly bought Manta style. Armel did so much work in that fight. He had the regeneration rune in the bottle, survives with like 20% HP, resets, good spike on a puck. They get the kill. This game, I don't think TNC can lose this game. Even though it's a 3K gold lead, considering the lineup that they have and what they're playing against, it's just not doable. You know, even with a bit of a fountain dives that seems to be very popular these days, I just don't think this game's throwable at all.
Yeah, Spectre already going for the Scotty, has that Aegis to work with. It's tough. Spectre's already at that point where find a fight.
They didn't manage to bring her down even once.
3-0 and 8.
And now with Aegis, you just don't have enough. Like, once Tiny gets his BKB, you have no abilities that go through Magic Immunity.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Like, this Razor is just going to keep falling off. Razor as a hero, he needs to be able to scale, keep fighting with the team, because his late game is just non-existent compared to some other, like, top-tier carries.
Yeah, certainly not that great. He went first item BKB, now he's going into a Yasha. Like, it just does not feel like there's much of a presence from that Razor. He even got 174 stolen damage in that last fight, and it still felt like he was tickling the Tiny.
Tiny has a ton of armor, dude. Tiny is sitting at 27 armor when he's near tier 2 tower.
That's ridiculous. It's always fun to watch Tiny's armor, too, because it just says 0+ whatever he's got. It's like, do the easy math. You can gloat about it. It's 22 right now. Hex comes in. Avalanche toss. Shank's dead again. He gets shanked. And they've got the duel out onto the Razor. They should have a second, and they will. So Tino, he goes down. Bach's got 70 duel damage. He's really starting to ramp up that number. And I guess it comes down to maybe a little bit of a different style play on the Legion commanders. Like Yang, he went pipe. He went a little bit more, I just want control with my duels. Here, I think Bach more looking towards getting that duel damage. With that blade mail, you're trying to secure the duels as much as you can.
A pipe there, at least a hood, just to be able to soak up some damage. But yeah, he survived because the rest of the team is also, you know, playing really well. Lion has a blink dagger. Like, these items are just so valuable. Grimstroke, Lance going into Force Staff, which I really like against the Razor to push people out of any potential trouble. Omega, they're just not playing Dota at the moment. It's just like random feeds on the map while TNC is gonna choke them out. I would definitely not be surprised if Omega just calls out an early GG. Because they know, like, teams like this, they play a lot of pubs. They have experience. They know if you see a lineup like that, you did not succeed to win the early game, you know it's just gonna get tougher over time.
It's like me and my pubs. My team gives up first blood. I know at this point it's over.
Oh, yeah, it's already done, you know. I missed one C. For me, you know, people might laugh, but one of the... If I'm playing, you know, any core and I miss the first CS, you know, it's a bad feeling. If I kill the first CS, I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be such a good game. You know, I'm setting myself up for a really good one.
Yeah, I don't CS because I'm usually just the 5 position. Trying to be the moral.
Do you ever, like, steal it on purpose and then, like, sorry, man. You know, I was just trying to deny misclicked.
I don't do it like that.
It sounds like something you would do, you know.
Wow. I didn't know that's what you thought about me. Sometimes I'll, like, if I don't think they're going to get the CS, I'll grab it. Gets followed by a berating of, dude, why are you stealing my CS? And I'm just
a lot of pings.
Yeah.
You know, what was this? You know.
Report AA. Seems to be all I play these days. I do love that hero, though. More of that.
You kind of expected to get a bit more buffs in the previous patch, didn't you? But
everybody thinks it's just super strong. I just want more buffs. I actually just think the Ags should be reworked. I just don't think
doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for the hero. I don't think he's ever, even though I bought it yesterday, but
yeah, you need 2 charge. Let's make him have 2 charges on the blast.
That would be so strong.
Just hit him once in the fountain, can't heal. Hit him twice after.
By refresher.
Hit him 2 more times. No, we just have to stop. A bit of a pause.
TNC, they're on the hunt though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They've got their ghillie suits on. They're looking for something.
You know when they say stats don't lie, like numbers don't lie, math is always correct, blah, blah, blah. Like this time around, it's a 5k gold lead for TNC, but it feels like it's much more. Like in my book, the way I'm reading this game, this is a 15k gold lead for TNC.
So the numbers are on.
Yeah, in this one at least.
Okay. Just, you know, just a lot of people who deny that. Avalanche coming through, no toss. BKB's been popped by Armel. They'll get the duel out. That's going to be through onto Tino. Do they have the damage? Ooh, Legion taking a lot of damage here and might even die. Tino goes down first. They've got the Soulbind as well as the Hex on both the Centaur as well as the Puck. They're looking over as Mac. Oh, 3-man stun. That came in.
That's a ravage.
Lands onto everybody, and they're going to take out Mac. They'll look over at CML. They've got the whip onto Sam H. They'll slow him down, but he's not the target at the moment. They're looking for this Visage and potentially even Shanks. Blinking, Avalanche, toss coming through with the Earth Spike. They'll get the kill to CML. That's through down on the side of Smart Omega. Well played by TNC. Maybe not getting everything they wanted, but certainly still winning the fight by quite a margin.
It's problematic for Omega because they don't have enough damage. They have nothing against the BKBs. Everyone is super tanky. All these items are starting to pile up. On TNC side, 4 staff on Grimstroke done. Just needs to use the courier. His courier died. Like, Centaur is tanky, but they're doing a very good job on TNC where they just ignore the Centaur. Like, what are you going to do? You know, we don't care too much about you. We're going to clean up the rest, and if you're alive, we're going to kill you as well.
Right.
Also, I would love to see Legion Commander picking up the shard. Just that 1.75 second BKB could turn things around. Another dual damage on bottom. We'll also use the finger.
And they ripped through him so quickly. How many stacks is that for the line? 4?
490 damage on Legion Commander on top of that.
Infinite scaling.
All they need is Pudge and Silencer for true infinite scaling lineup.
That's what I want to see, just the infinite scaling lineups at all times. Armel now picking up that Hyperstone, so his right click's coming in pretty hard and pretty quick.
Armel has been boss this game. on Tiny, going in and out, playing a bit too aggressive at the early stages, but it doesn't matter, you know, because you have a Spectre. You can afford to go for plays like that, where you go like, man, we just need to buy time, because Spectre, they have no real answer for it. They have no Silver Edge carriers. They have no break abilities. It's just that Spectre is way too problematic. 5-0-11, Manta style. Eye of Scotty also done, going into a Basher. Level 21, extra 400 HP from that talent. Yeah, I just, like, they have no percentage-based damage on top of that, so they have no tools whatsoever to deal with Spectre.
Spectre going into the Basher. AC picked up for this Razor. So finally a second item there for Tino. Grimstroke looking towards that shard. You've got Aeon Disc almost finished for the Lion.
Aeon Disc on Puck. So that's going to help out against the initiation coming up from Lion, Duel,
Hex.
Tiny.
And now your Spike followed up, being Swell, trying to stick with him. They've got the duel, and Disc gets popped.
He should still get the damage.
Finger Avalanche Toss, they'll get the kill, so 110 damage. And then 5 stacks for Boomy. They're scaling. They're doing that thing that they do.
They don't necessarily need to rush things. They could potentially go for second Roche, which will respawn in a minute, and then just close out the game. It also gives you the shard. They have some really good shard carriers this time around. Like Tiny could potentially take it, where you have no charge limit on the tree grabs. Spectre also potentially, but I think they will prioritize either Legion Commander or give it to Tiny. Grimstroke has one queued up. It's also S tier shard. But as a position 5, maybe you do not want to give it to him. So just spend your money as a 5 on items. Big boys will get the free ones.
Yeah, Armel's shard would be good. He's already got the Hyperstone. Like, you're giving him that extra attack speed to have the tree grab, not have a limit. Like, that feels like the proper shard giving. Still just 16 seconds till Roche is back up. Vision over on Boomy. They know that they're posturing. And I think Omega are going to feel forced to have to smoke and make a move to try and defend this. I think they were in ward vision for just a split second. There's the Aeon Disc picked up for the Lion. So 7K lead right now for TNC. Roche back up. They're into the pit. Here we go.
Let's see if they want to smoke. There is one smoke on Skywrath Mage. They're just not contesting.
It's rough to try and get in there. Like you said,
but if you want to take you need to risk it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just giving them free Roche, so that's cheese, Aegis, plus a shard. Not sure how you plan to fight after that. They should have taken this Roche fight.
Ooh, actually giving the Spectre the shard. Meanwhile, CML, he's dead to Armel. So not Tiny, not Legion. Ends up being the Spectre, giving that extra dispersion.
It's a good shard, but I don't think there is much value in this game. Like, if you're playing against something with global presence, let's say like Zeus uses ulti, you jump on top of him straight away, possibly Nature's Prophet, any kind of instant damage that can hit you in the last 8 seconds. Would still prefer either Tiny or Legion Commander. Legion Commander also not going for the shard. Like, it's just so good, because like when you win the duel, it also procs again, press the attack, so it gives you a smaller BKB. Budget BKB, whatever we want to call it.
Although budget BKB did get a boost because full price BKB can't be that much longer.
Exactly.
Silent Stream Coil coming through. That's on the 2. They get a kill on the Tims. They're going to use the Stampede. The Haunt comes out. And they're trying to find a target to go after. Sam H first hit bash. All right. That's unfortunate.
Blank.
Gabby
still
trying to get the kill.
But he's too slowed. There's no way he's getting out of this one.
Not getting out. Top lane though, Bach, he's low, but
he's thinking about going in. He's thinking.
Go for it. Avalanche? No time for the duel.
He had the time. He was just afraid. You know, the Tiny's not going to back him up.
Should have went in before.
They're still in this game, you know, playing, but the game feels pretty rough. It's just that they have no answers for Spectre. They don't even have answers for Tiny anymore, who's 15-12, going in once again. Buys a dodge, like, pay attention. This is how you play Tiny. Any kind of, oh, he's thinking about finger. Maybe he got out of the range. This is how you play any playmaking mids, where you have a ton of kill potential. Like, just carry that dust. Most of the people would have a bottle instead in the inventory, but since he knows there is a Glimmer Cape, he will buy the dust for himself.
Right. So, always being ready, always having that dust.
You can even see Spectre having one dust, just in case like she needs to get a good jump.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's holding dust in the core role. Hack was under that ward. They knew exactly where he was. They just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah. You know, next time someone flames you because you're not having a dust on a support, especially if you're someone who needs to stay further behind, you know, not get close, feel free to quote me that your carries, your mid laners should carry a dust.
So, 12K lead. What does that feel like now? If 5 was 12, what is 12?
Do we just add 7, or is it like percentage?
Yeah. 22? Percentage-wise? Blink Avalanche. Looking over at CML, maybe thinking about getting that duel. Has already popped the blade mail, gets the duel off. Dream Coil comes in. They'll get the kill on the CML. They'll look over at Tino, who's popped the BKB. They're going to chase after Armel. He's got a static link on him, but he'll be tossed.
Cheese is available.
Gets tossed away. Armel has the cheese, heals up, and so far just one now. A second with Shanks going down. Blink Hoofstop as well as the double edge on Naboomy, but it's just not enough damage. They'll look over now at Tino again. Soulbind comes in. There's the finger with the Phantom's Embrace. They've got the silence. They'll get the cut of Tino. They'll look over at Mac, who's in the pit. He's not Roche. He's certainly easier to kill than Roche. But the question is, can they stay on top of him? Mac gets hit with that avalanche. The toss is in. Not enough damage just yet. Waiting Rift. Press the attack. Surviving for now. Mac maybe going after Armel to get the kill, but he finally gets out of there with the Illusory Orb. However, Phase Shift, Illusory Orb, Blink, South, and Struggle Fate.
Ooh. Wasn't on point. Meanwhile, like Spectre with the double damage, Aegis will just go for the high ground. They don't have enough. Spectre is also level 25, extra 5% dispersion.
Glyph and trying to hold Soul Assumption, but the damage.
Abyssal.
That was a mistake. Mac has made a mistake and gone after Gabby. Boomy will immediately tip, and maybe Sam H has made a mistake too, because he's got the Aegis, he's got Blade Mail to
he
pop.
wants to use it, but needs to be
him.
careful. They're timing it nicely. 5 seconds until Aegis is gone. Can they time it perfectly?
He's backing off. That's the wise decision.
And regeneration kicks in. It's always delayed by like 2-3-ish seconds.
And Sam H, hoof stomp, Inkswell on him, but the duel is there. They'll lock down Sam H. They'll get the kill. Bach with another duel victory. Double kill as CML falls. Looking like the end here for Smart Omega. They just could not outsmart their opponents on this one. And they're going to jump forward. They'll look over at Shanks. They're all getting corralled back into the base with no answer and no way to follow this up. I mean, without the puck, they're without the Centaur. And they're going to try to defend the tier 3. Mail popped once again. They've got the Avalanche, but they just don't have the vision onto Shanks. Mana Drain out onto CML. He's trying to run. Inkswell will pop right on top of the Visage, who's saved via the Force Staff for now, but eventually
you know what
dies.
I always say, when it's time to call it, it is time to call it.
The wise words of Lacoste. I think that's one of those things. You know those pictures that people put on their wall? The cat that holds itself up as Tino finally dies and the GG is called. It's time to call it. It's time to call it.
It is. It is. Great performance by TNC. A great draft. They had no answer for Spectre. Omega's lineup, they needed to stay like 5k gold ahead 15 minutes in to be able to make this type of a lineup work. Didn't really work out. Armel was playing insanely well, creating a space with his Tiny, and Spectre like not even dying once throughout this whole...